In a country where political demonstrations have long been characterized by ethnic allegiances and generational divides, a new wave of activism is emerging. Kenya's Generation Z is stepping into the spotlight, transcending tribal lines and political affiliations to protest against the proposed Finance Bill 2024 and the worsening economic conditions. This fresh wave of demonstrations signifies a profound shift in the nation's socio-political landscape, heralding the dawn of a new era. Will this mark the end of political errors made by millennials and other generations that came before Gen Z? Hilali Kabila with the full report.
Kenya's streets have in the last few days been witnessing an unprecedented sight. Young men and women born in the late 1990s and early 2000s, uniting in a powerful display of discontent. Unlike their predecessors, this generation of demonstrators is not swayed by tribal loyalties or political parties. They are driven by a collective frustration over economic hardship and the proposed Finance Bill 2024, which threatens to exacerbate their struggles.
The education has become expensive. Sisi tulikuwa tunasoma na 28,000 per year. Right now, watu wanasoma na 28,000 per month. What is that?
Hata sasa tutazaa kweli. Tutazaa kweli. Kama hivi ndio unatupandishia diapers. Hata kunyesha sijui kama tutanyesha. Ruto tafadhali. Zakayo, shuka tu. Tumechoka.
The proposed finance bill includes a range of new taxes and austerity measures aimed at addressing the national debt. However, many believe these policies will disproportionately affect the youth, who are already grappling with high unemployment rates and rising cost of living.
And now you trying to add tax on stuff like sanitary towels, it doesn't make sense. It's inhumane. Pads should be free. Condoms are free. Sex is optional, menstruation is not. So this thing should be scrapped off. It's not, do not amend it. Reject the whole thing.
We expect some changes, Joe. Change mahali Joe, hiyo bei ya unga Joe. Hiyo bei ya mayai ishuke ikuwe 10, iache kuwa 15. Hiyo dribo ya Joe.
What sets these protests apart is their nonpartisan nature, unlike previous demonstrations that often carried political undertones and were spearheaded by millennials or baby boomers, loyal to specific political factions. These Gen Z protests are tribeless and united by common economic grievances.
The police are not our enemy, we are not their enemies. We are here to demonstrate for our rights.
The youth have come together, transcending ethnic and political lines, to voice their collective discontent.
No finance bill. No finance bill. Reject with full power.
These protests are unique not just in their demographic makeup, but also in their organization. Social media has been a critical tool for mobilization, with platforms like X, TikTok and Instagram used to spread awareness, organize demonstrations and share live updates. The heat and pressure from these demonstrations have not only been felt in major cities in Kenya, but also in the remote grassroots, with the elite political class notwithstanding.
Our Member of Parliament, Dr. Gideon Ochanda, voted for a draconian law, a law that is punitive and a law that does not take into perspective the social welfare of the people of Bondo.
Tuko hapa kama wanabondo kusema kwamba tumebaki kama mayatima.
Yes, sir.
Kwa sababu tuna mbunge asiye taka kutilia maanani yale ambayo wananchi wa Bondo wanayasema.
The chants, the calls and the message, however, has been in sync across the country. The demos in Kenya, led by its young population, have gained popularity not only within the country, but also across its borders, with Bobi Wine, a Ugandan politician, and the South African Communist Party EFF standing in solidarity with the Kenya's young protesters. The demos exerted pressure in the executive office, which made the president to submit their demands.
Having reflected on the continuing conversation around the content of the Finance Bill 2024, and listening keenly to the people of Kenya, who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 finance bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn. And I have agreed with these members that that becomes our collective position.
But where has Kenya come from in matters seeking social, economic or political justice against the government?
Mtasimama imara kulinda haki ya Wakenya.
Since the colonial era, the right to protest, assemble, picket or meet as a group advocating or expressing grievances has been contentious. Protesting in the street has been a significant aspect of Kenya's fight for justice and rights. From Harry Thuku's arrest in 1922 for advocating for African rights, to the fight for multi-party democracy in the 1980s and 90s, protests have had mixed outcomes. Often, they have been marred by violence, leading to injury, death and destruction of property. Different actors including protesters, counter-protesters, opportunistic criminals and law enforcement have been blamed for these incidents. Supporters of the right to assemble view it as a vital means for the public to voice their opinions. Conversely, those in power frequently perceive it as a potential threat, and others argue that protests unjustifiably disrupt daily life, affecting access to public buildings, roads and businesses. This perspective has gained traction, especially among those seeking to curtail the right to protest. Hilary Kabila, GBS News.